गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि गानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्ताय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदैवताय गुरुकुलस्थायिने गुरुविक्रमाय गुह्यप्रवराय गुरवे गुणगुरवे गुरुदैत्यगलक्षेत्रे गुरुधर्मसदाराध्याय गुरुपुत्रपरित्रात्रे गुरुपाखण्डखण्डकाय गीतसाराय गीततत्त्वाय गीतगोत्राय धीमहि गूढगुल्फाय गन्धमत्ताय गोजयप्रदाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि.
What a devotional performance it was. Thank you, Nirvana, the Classical Dance Society of Maims, for presenting such an amazing piece of art.
We would like to take a moment to acknowledge the presence of highly esteemed and revered dignitaries that have graced us with our event today, and we would like to invite them on stage for the lamp lighting ceremony.
शांतिपूर्ण भाई भाई
We would like to request all the dignitaries to stay on the stage for a few more minutes. Now I would like to call Dr. Ekta Dargan on stage to present a token of appreciation to Professor Dr. Gaurav Agarwal, Head Department of Economics.
I would like to request Professor Dr. Manju Gupta, Head Department of Commerce, to present a token of appreciation to Shreya Jain.
Now I would request Professor Dr. Sangeeta Malik to present a token of appreciation to Ms.Taanya Kathpal.
I would like to request Professor Dr. Manju Gupta, Head Department of Commerce, to share a few words of wisdom.
Ma'am has completed her BCom Honours, MCom, MPhil from Delhi University. Now I request Dr. Shilpi Agarwal to felicitate Dr. Sangeeta Malik. Now I would request Ms. Rachita ma'am to kindly present a token of appreciation to Professor Dr. Gaurav. Thank you so much, ma'am and sir. Now you can have a seat. Now, I would like to call Professor Dr. Manju Gupta, Head Department of Commerce, to share with us a few words of wisdom. Ma'am has completed her BCom Honours, MCom and MPhil from Delhi University and PhD from CCS University. She has more than 2 decades of experience in the area of finance and accounting. She has also authored 3 books which are prescribed as textbook by GGS IPU, University of Calcutta, Galgotia University, Manav Rachna and many other universities. She has published over 20 papers in national and international journals and has acted as resource person in multiple FDPs.
Very good afternoon. Very good afternoon. A very good afternoon and warm welcome to all of you to Comference, an event that should look forward to engage the young minds and realize the purpose of their life, being organized by a Compact Society of Maims. The aim is to enhance our knowledge and build a deeper perspective related to different fields. For this, we have our esteemed guests from different walks of life such as finance, business and creative art. An articulated discussion always help in unveiling multidisciplinary domains, and today we are going to achieve this feat for sure. With these words, I would like to welcome our guest, Mr. Subhash Garg, former Finance Secretary and ex-Director of World Bank, Mr. Pushkar Thakur, India's leading business coach and motivational speaker with more than 6 million YouTube subscribers, Ms. Shreya Jain, playback singer and songwriter, Ms.Aashi Wadhwa, Delhi-based influencer and fashion blogger, Ms.Taanya Kathpal, founder of Eat My News. I also extend a warm welcome to all our dignitaries, all HODs and faculty members, and my dear students. Before we get started, I would like to express my sincere thanks to our lovely chief guest or lovely guest who generously accepted our invitation and have come together to share their valuable insight with all of us. I hope we all have a great journey to learn and look deep inside ourselves to find our purpose of life. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your words of wisdom. Now I request Dr. Bharti Chaudhary to present a token of appreciation to Dr. Vinitha Gupta, Head, Department of Journalism.
बावरा मन देखने चला एक सपना, बावरा मन देखने चला एक सपना, बावरे से मन के देखो बावरी हैं बातें, बावरे से मन के देखो बावरी हैं बातें, बावरी सी धड़कनें हैं, बावरी हैं सांसें, बावरी से करवटों से निंदिया दूर भागे, बावरे से नैन चाहे बावरे झरोखों से, बावरे नजारों को तकना, बावरा मन देखने चला एक सपना। बावरे से इस जहां में बावरा एक साथ हो, इस सयानी भीड़ में बस हाथों में तेरा हाथ हो, बावरी से धुन हो कोई बावरा एक राग हो, बावरी से धुन हो कोई बावरा एक राग हो, बावरे से पैर चाहे बावरे तरानों के, बावरे से बोल पे थिरकना, बावरा मन देखने चला एक सपना, बावरा मन देखने चला एक सपना। हेलो 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 खामोशियाँ आवाज है, तुम सुनने तो आओ कभी, छूकर तुम्हें खिल जाएंगे, घर इनको बुलाओ कभी। बेकरार है बात करने को, कहने दो इनको जरा, खामोशियाँ तेरी मेरी, खामोशियाँ खामोशियाँ लिपटे हुई खामोशियाँ। क्या उस गली में कभी तेरा जाना हुआ, जहाँ से जमाने को गुजरे जमाना हुआ। मेरा समय तो वहीं पे है ठहरा हुआ, बताऊं तुम्हें क्या मेरे साथ क्या क्या हुआ। खामोशियाँ गिजाज है, कभी आ गुनगुना ले जरा, खामोशियाँ एक साज है, तुम धुन को हिलाओ जरा। बेकरार है बात करने को, कहने दो इनको जरा, खामोशियाँ तेरी मेरी, खामोशियाँ खामोशियाँ लिपटे हुई खामोशियाँ। थैंक यू।
Motivation acts as wings for achieving success. To go beyond limits, having a drive is important. And one such person who has always motivated and coached people and organizations to excel is present among us here. Known for his vibrant aura, Mr. Pushkar Thakur is one of the most influential speakers in the field of leadership psychology and a great personality development coach. He is also the mastermind behind #GoSelfMadeRevolution. Some of his trademark courses are the last course for your best life, bang on in network marketing, the design of my life, and performance acceleration system. All these courses are curated for people committed to inculcating a leadership and entrepreneurship mindset. He did his bachelor's in industrial and organizational psychology from Keshav Mahavidyalaya. Let's give a big round of applause and welcome Mr. Pushkar Thakur.
Hello everyone. Hello sir. Sir, first of all I would like to say that it is an absolute pleasure that the person who inspires millions is here in front of us today. Please have a big huge round of applause for sir.
Thank you.
Sir, speaking of being an inspiration, you established your institute when you were just 17 years old. That is a huge step to think of starting something of your own at such an early stage of your life. So I want to know what thought struck that 17-year-old boy that made him an inspiration for millions.
चलिए इसका तो मैं आंसर दूंगा, अभी यहाँ पे थोड़ी उथल फुथल चल रही है। एनीवेज, आप सबके साथ बात करके ना मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगता है, बड़ा एक्साइटेड हो जाता हूँ मैं, बिकॉज आप भी यंग हो और मैं भी यंग हूँ। और अच्छी बात क्या है कि मैं जब आप लोगों को देखता हूँ ना तो मुझे अपना कॉलेज याद आ जाता है। तो कुछ टाइम पहले जैसे मैं भी दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी से ही पास आउट हूँ और बहुत ज़्यादा फ़र्क नहीं है आपकी और मेरी एज में। कुछ साल पहले मैं भी ऐसे ही बैठा करता था, ये अलग बात है हमें बिठाया जाता था, HOD का खौफ होता था, है ना, वरना थोड़ा सा वो प्रैक्टिकल्स में मार्क्स कम मिलेंगे। किसी के साथ है ऐसा आज? एनीवेज, तो किसी का कोई बॉयफ्रेंड या गर्लफ्रेंड बाहर वेट कर रहा है तो आप जा सकते हो, क्योंकि अदरवाइज तो बहुत काम की बातें मिलने वाली हैं आज। कोई वेट कर रहा है? अच्छा, जो लोग जा रहे हैं मैं मान के चलूं, कोई बाहर भी इंतजार कर रहा है? चलिए, एनीवेज, सो आपने एक सवाल पूछा कि आई स्टार्टेड व्हेन आई वाज 17, ओके।
नहीं निकल पाओगे।
सो अभी यहाँ पे टीनेज में कितने लोग हैं, मतलब 19 ईयर से पहले? अरे यार, ये तो ज़्यादातर है। अच्छा, और टीनेज के बाद?
समी।
अच्छा, एडल्ट बोलूँ आप लोगों को?
बिल्कुल।
अच्छा, सो अच्छी बात क्या है कि अच्छा, आपके पास कितने क्वेश्चन है पहले बता दो मुझे, क्योंकि मैं तो कुछ और सोच के आया था।
सर 5-6 क्वेश्चन।
अच्छा, 5-6, मैं इनका आंसर दे देता हूँ, फिर मैं आप लोगों से कुछ बात करूँगा जो मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगेगा, है ना। सो आपका फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, कैन यू प्लीज रिपीट कि वो व्हाट केम इनटू माय माइंड? मनी।
Okay, sir.
नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन।
Sir, next question is that public speaking has played a very important role in your life.
Right.
But some people find it very difficult to say even a word without being nervous. So I want to ask, what advice do you want to give to those people?
जो मन में है वो बोलो। पहले लोग हंसेंगे, तुम्हें पागल समझेंगे, फिर धीरे धीरे तो तुम समझ जाओगे कि क्या बोलना है। अभी जैसे मेरे मन में जो आ रहा है मैं वो बोल रहा हूँ, राइट?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
तो उसमें कोई आप नर्वस नहीं होते हो, बिकॉज आपको सोच के नहीं बोलना। You are not using your mind too much. So whatever is coming into your brain, you are just speaking. So वो best है.
Oh, okay, sir.
And for that you need a little bit of experience. तो मेरे लिए वो 10 सालों से ज़्यादा का हो चुका है, but वो experience के साथ हो जाएगा.
Okay, sir. Moving to the next question. Network marketing is a huge term,
Right.
and I don't think anyone who is present here can tell the meaning of this term better than you.
Right.
So, what exactly is network marketing, and what is the career scope in this field?
See, there are multiple career options. सामने वाले को अपना passion follow करना चाहिए. So I was there in this field for few years, and उसमें अच्छा क्या था कि connecting with people, interacting with them, उन्होंने मुझे काफ़ी कुछ सिखाया. So sales, ultimately the word is sales. आपको लाइफ में ना कभी भी आगे बढ़ना है और आपको पैसे कमाने हैं तो आपको सेल समझनी पड़ेगी. आज नहीं तो कल आपको अपने आप को बेचना है, अपने टाइम को बेचना है. इंटरव्यू में जाओगे, यू विल हैव टू प्रेजेंट योरसेल्फ. एंड रिजेक्शन हमने कभी फेस नहीं करी होती. हमारे माँ बाप ने हमें सब कुछ दिया है ज़िंदगी में, बट जब तक आपको लोगों से रिजेक्शन नहीं मिलती, यू डू नॉट फेस नो, तो आप कह सकते हो कि नरिश नहीं हो पाते. एंड कल को अगर आपको किसी भी कंपनी के साथ काम करना है, हर कंपनी के लिए सबसे ज़्यादा मैटर क्या करता है कि भाई रेवेन्यू क्या आ रहा है.
बिल्कुल.
ठीक है, तो अगर आप कहीं पर भी सेल्स के हिसाब से वैल्यू एडिशन करोगे, you will be first to be hired and last to be fired. So I learned a lot of things, and ultimately सामने यहाँ पे बहुत सारे लोग हैं, मैं तो ये बोलूँगा कि आपको अपना पैशन फॉलो करना चाहिए. So आपके पास जो अपॉर्चुनिटी आ रही है, you can just grab that opportunity right now in front of your eyes to make some money, and then ultimately I'm going to talk about it कि अपने पैशन को आपको फॉलो करना है. So अगर मैं शॉर्ट में बोलूँ, so it is like connecting people and learning sales.
Sir, I think we are going to learn a lot from you today.
Yes.
My next question is, when we see your videos, you talk a lot about passive income.
Right.
We want to know that what exactly is passive income, and what is the major difference between passive income and active income.
See, आप जिस इनकम के लिए काम करते हो उसे हम एक्टिव इनकम बोलते हैं. जिसके लिए आप काम नहीं करते तब भी आपके पास आती है उसे पैसिव इनकम बोलते हैं. एग्जाम्पल के लिए मोस्ट पीपल नो यार कि मतलब लोगों का रेंट आता है, उसके लिए हम कुछ काम नहीं करते, तो वो पैसिव हो गया. एक्टिव हो गया, हम कहीं जॉब पे जा रहे हैं, हम अपना टाइम दे रहे हैं, वो एक्टिव हो गया. पैसिव इनकम गिव्स यू फ्रीडम. आपके पास जितने ज़्यादा सोर्सेज होंगे पैसिव इनकम के और जितना बड़े सोर्सेज होंगे, आप उतने ज़्यादा लाइफ में फ्री हो पाओगे. और अल्टीमेटली हमारा गोल क्या है? पैसे तो कमाने हैं बट लाइफ को एंजॉय करना है, और एंजॉय करने के लिए आपको टाइम चाहिए. सो टाइम इज़ मोर पावरफुल. सो उसके लिए यू नीड टू बिल्ड पैसिव इनकम. और इसके ऊपर कहीं पे ज़्यादा लोग बात नहीं करते, बट आई ऑलवेज टॉक अबाउट दिस. सो व्हेन यू आर इन योर टीनेज, दिस इज़ अ बेस्ट टाइम. आप अपनी ज़िंदगी बना सकते हो या ज़िंदगी बर्बाद कर सकते हो. Either you can make it or you can break it. So next 5 years, if you think about it कि यार मुझे ना कुछ ऐसा करना है कि I at least make few sources of passive income for me. So तुम अपनी ज़िंदगी जी पाओगे. वरना वॉरेन बफेट बोलते हैं अगर ऐसा तरीका तुम्हें नहीं मिलता कि तुम सोते हुए भी पैसे कमाते हो, तो तुम्हें ज़िंदगी भर काम करना पड़ेगा. और ज़िंदगी भर काम करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. इफ़ यू जस्ट लर्न द कंसेप्ट. यहाँ पे 90% लोग आज मुझे सुनेंगे, सॉरी ज़्यादातर लोग यहाँ पे सुन ही रहे हैं, तो 90% से ज़्यादा लोगों के ऊपर कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ने वाला. बिकॉज आई एम टेलिंग यू 90% लोग स्ट्रगल करने वाले हैं लाइफ में. उनको इन बातों का कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ेगा, बट 10% लोगों को फ़र्क पड़ सकता है. और दे आर गोइंग टू जस्ट इन्जॉय, दे आर गोइंग टू इन्जॉय देयर लाइफ. एंड वो उसके लिए क्या करना है, क्या स्टेप्स हैं, तो आई हैव समथिंग फॉर यू.
Okay, sir, moving towards our last question, is when someone starts his or her own business, sometimes there comes a phase when they start having self-doubts about themselves.
Right.
We want to know if you also had to go through that phase, and if yes, how did you recover from that situation?
नहीं, मुझे सेल्फ डाउट तो कभी नहीं आया कि मैं नहीं कर सकता, चाहे मैं जैसा भी था. लोग मुझे फेसबुक पे जाके थोड़ा सा पीछे की फ़ोटोज़ देखेंगे जब मैं कॉलेज में था, तो आपको लगेगा यार ये एक ही इंसान है, कैसे हो सकता है, ऐसा हो नहीं सकता. सो बट फिर भी उस टाइम पे भी सेल्फ डाउट नहीं था कि मैं कुछ नहीं कर पाऊंगा लाइफ में. अपने ऊपर मतलब पागलों वाला भरोसा था कि येस समथिंग इज़ गोना हैपन विद मी एंड आई विल डू समथिंग बिग इन लाइफ. और आज भी मैं ये फील करता हूँ. एंड उसके लिए आपको रेगुलर मोटिवेशन चाहिए. आपको कोई एक इंसान भी ऐसा मिल जाए ना जो आपको ये बोल दे कि यार तू कर सकता है, और आपने ये मान लिया कि तू मैं कर सकता हूँ, सो आपकी लाइफ एक दूसरा एंगल ले लेगी. और अगर आपको किसी ने बोला तू कुछ नहीं कर सकता और आपने ये मान लिया कि मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता, तो फिर आप कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते. सो हेनरी फोर्ड ने ऐसा बोला था, आपको अगर लगता है आप कर सकते हो, आप सही हो. अगर आपको लगता है आप नहीं कर सकते, आप सही हो. सो आई ऑलवेज बिलीव्ड इन माई सेल्फ एंड माई मदर बिलीव्ड इन माई सेल्फ मोर देन मी. तो मुझे बस उनसे इंस्पिरेशन हमेशा से मिली है, एंड दैट इज़ इट.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your presence. We are very grateful to you.
Right.
And
so I have something for the people. So
Yes,
ना,
sir,
if you
sure.
allow me, I can share.
Yes, sir.
तो मुझे पता नहीं था मेरे से क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाएंगे. अच्छा है पूछे गए, ठीक है. All right, can I talk?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. नहीं, मज़ा तो अब आना शुरू होगा यार. मज़ा तो मुझे पता है क्या मज़ा आता है. कॉलेज में आते हैं ना तो सीरियस नहीं रखना ज़्यादा, इसीलिए मैंने बड़ा जल्दी जल्दी निपटा दिया. आपने देख लिया होगा, है ना, टू द पॉइंट. अच्छा सीरियसली बताना, बिकॉज अभी है क्या चीज़. देखो मैं ना बहुत दूर से यार, आज मतलब ट्रैफिक जैम भी मिला, बहुत दूर से टाइम निकाल के आया हूँ. तो मुझे यहाँ पे आने के पैसे तो मिलते नहीं, राइट. तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि मुझे इसमें मज़ा आता है. आई लाइक टू स्पीक विद पीपल. मेरे को पब्लिक स्पीकिंग पसंद है. मतलब मेसी से पूछा गया था और कि अगर आपको फुटबॉल खेलने के पैसे नहीं मिलते तब भी आप खेलते. उन्होंने ये बोला कि मुझे अगर इसके ज़िंदगी भर पैसे नहीं मिलें और कभी नहीं भी मिलते तब भी मैं प्रोफेशनली फुटबॉल खेलता. सो ये एक शॉर्टकट है पता लगाने का कि आपका पैशन क्या है. जैसे लड़कियों को मेकअप करना पसंद है, पैसे ना भी मिले तब भी करेंगे, पैशन है ना. किसी का है, झूठ बोल रहे. सो देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स, राइट. देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स. जैसे लड़कों को लड़कियां नहीं हारना पसंद होता है, ठीक है, तो पैशन है वो. सम पीपल डू इट वेरी पैशनेटली. अच्छा मैंने इसीलिए पहले पूछ लिया कि कितने लोग टीनेजर हैं. बड़ी अच्छी लगती हैं सारी बातें, बट उससे भी इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है, देयर इज समथिंग इंपॉर्टेंट आई वांट टू टॉक अबाउट टुडे, है ना. इफ यू वांट टू रिमूव द चेयर्स यू कैन, है ना. मेरे पास 20 मिनट है तकरीबन. मैं ले सकता हूँ 20 मिनट, मैं ले सकता हूँ 20 मिनट, है ना. अच्छा मैं ये बता रहा था कि मैं बड़ा टाइम निकाल के आया हूँ और आप लोगों को भी टाइम इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो वट एवर आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट नाउ कैन एक्चुअली शेप योर लाइफ. आपको बड़ा मजा आएगा जो मैं बोलूँगा, सुन के समझ के, और उसे इम्प्लीमेंट करके लाइफ में और ज़्यादा मज़ा आएगा. बट इट इज़ नॉट सो ईजी, बट आई विल गिव यू सिंपल स्टेप्स एंड आई रियली वांट कि कुछ लोग तो भाई मोटिवेट हों और कुछ ऐसा करें. ओके सो अच्छा कितने लोगों को पैसा कमाना लाइफ में? सबको कमाना है. अच्छा जब मैं कॉलेज में आया था ना, मैं अपने आसपास के फ्रेंड सर्कल में बातें करता था जो कॉलेज में फ्रेंड्स बने थे. अच्छा मैं उनसे पूछता था तो वो ऐसे बोलते थे मनी इज़ नॉट सो इम्पॉर्टेंट, इतना भी ज़रूरी नहीं है, अभी बहुत कुछ चीज़ें हैं यार, ये करना है वो करना है, मुझे सीखना है. अच्छा मैं थोड़ा सा एक स्टेप आगे सोचता था. मैं सोचता था यार ये जो बकवास कर रहा है, जो भी कर रहा है, अल्टीमेटली ये क्या करेगा. तो इससे अपनी ग्रेजुएशन कंप्लीट करनी है, ग्रेजुएशन के बाद ये क्या करेगा, जॉब करेगा. अगर मैं किसी भी यहाँ पे बोलूँ, आप में से कितने लोगों को एक बहुत बढ़िया सी जॉब चाहिए किसी MNC में? हाँ चाहिए यार, काफ़ी लोगों को चाहिए होगी. और आपको जॉब चाहिए और मैं बोलूँ आपको सैलरी नहीं मिलेगी, आप काम करोगे? बिल्कुल नहीं, चाहे गूगल हो. हफ्ता 10 दिन सही लगेगा, 1 महीना सही लगेगा, सीखने को मिल जाएगा. अरे पैसे नहीं मिलेंगे तो कौन काम करेगा, राइट. सो अल्टीमेटली वी नीड मनी. आज आप यहाँ पे जो भी कर रहे हो, काफ़ी सारे बच्चे इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे होंगे, ठीक है, आप मैनेजमेंट में होंगे, आप सब कुछ कर रहे हैं. मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ ज़्यादातर लोगों का पैशन नहीं था. आपको बस ये लगा अच्छा करियर हो सकता है, अच्छी जॉब मिल सकती है, जॉब अच्छी मिल जाएगी तो अच्छी छोकरी मिल जाएगी, शादी हो जाएगी, लाइफ सेट हो जाएगी. मतलब ऐसा कुछ है ना, आइडियल सिस्टम है हमारा. ऐसा ही है क्या? नहीं है? और कुछ चेंज हो गया अभी, है ना? तो आपने फिर हमारे ऐसे लोगों को सुनना शुरू कर दिया। तो मतलब मेरे को तो ये सब सुनाया गया था। सो व्हेन आई वाज इन कॉलेज, मेरा एक फ्रेंड ने मुझे बोला, भाई मैंने लिया बीबी, है ना? अब मैं केशव में था, यहाँ से ज़्यादा दूर नहीं है। सो दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर वो उस टाइम पे BBS बोलते होंगे। तो मैं तो साइकोलॉजी ऑनर्स में था, और वो भी मैंने इसलिए ली थी कि मैं जल्दी फ्री हो जाऊँ, कॉलेज से जाके कुछ बिल्ड कर लूँ, है ना? 2 बजे से पहले फ्री हो जाऊँगा। जितने मतलब अटेंडेंस चाहिए ना, वो 60% समथिंग चाहिए होती थी, 65%, बस उतनी होती थी मेरी कि एग्जाम में बैठ जाऊँ। अल्टीमेटली आई हैड सम बिग प्लान्स, तो उस टाइम पे बिग लगते थे, बट वो करा हमने जो भी किया। सो मेरे फ्रेंड ने मुझे बोला कि अगर मेरी 1 लाख रुपए महीने की नौकरी लग जाएगी ना भाई, मुझे नहीं पता मैं इतने पैसे का क्या करूँगा। मैं इतने पैसे का क्या करूँगा मुझे नहीं पता। अच्छा, मैं आप लोगों को पहली बात तो ये बताना चाहूँगा, देर आर नो लिमिट्स, देर आर नो लिमिट्स। आप जितना सोच सकते हो ना आज की डेट में, वो सब अचीवेबल है। आप सोच नहीं सकते कि मार्केट में पैसा कितना है, यू कैन नॉट जस्ट थिंक अबाउट इट राइट नाउ। आपका जितना बड़ा होराइजन है ना, सब पूरा हो सकता है। तो इस टाइम पे व्हेन यू आर इनटू योर टीनेज, आप आसपास के लोगों की सुनोगे, कोई ना कोई मेंटोर बनाओगे, किसी ना किसी को देखोगे सक्सेसफुल है किसी ना किसी फील्ड में, और वो आपको बताएगा जहां तक वो पहुंच पाया है, और आपको लगेगा यार मैं यहाँ तक पहुंचो बहुत बढ़िया रहेगा, और ये सब कुछ सही है। पर यू नीड टू ब्रॉडन योर होराइजन। आप आज की डेट में ऐसा बोलते हैं, वट एवर योर माइंड कैन कंसीव इट कैन अचीव। क्या बोलते हैं? वट एवर योर माइंड कैन कंसीव इट कैन अचीव। आज आपके दिमाग में जो फिगर जाएगी, उससे ज्यादा तुम नहीं कमा पाओगे। एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू, आप ही के एज के लोग हैं जो कमाल कर रहे हैं, जो $1 बिलियन कंपनीज भी बना रहे हैं। डिपेंड ये करता है किसके दिमाग में क्या जाके फिट हो रहा है इस वक्त, है ना? इट इज हाईली इंपॉर्टेंट। सो आपके दिमाग में क्या फिगर फिट हो रही है मुझे नहीं पता, बट फिगर फिट करनी है। मनी इज इंपॉर्टेंट, ये आपको ना आज समझना है। क्यों? क्योंकि ये अभी जो कॉलेज में आया है हो, 2-4 साल माँ बाप कुछ नहीं कहेंगे, सिर्फ पढ़ाई करो, टीचर्स कुछ नहीं कहेंगे, पढ़ाई करो। जैसे ही तुम कॉलेज से बाहर निकलोगे, तुमसे पूछा जाएगा अगर जॉब नहीं लगी कि तेरी जॉब कब तक लगेगी, कब तक हम पे बोझ बन के बैठा रहेगा। अच्छा, गर्ल्स के लिए इतनी कंपल्शन नहीं है, बट डेफिनेटली हमें अच्छा लगता है कि हम कुछ करें, कंपल्शन नहीं होती। फॉर बॉयज बेसिकली हमारा इंडियन सिस्टम ऐसा है कि भाई लड़के को तो पैसा कमाना ही है, लड़की के लिए इट इज अ चॉइस, यू वांट टू डू इट यू डू इट, बट उसमें फोर्स नहीं है। बट लड़कों के लिए इट इज हाईली इंपॉर्टेंट। आज की डेट में आपको जो चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट लगती है ना, जरूरी नहीं कि वो इंपॉर्टेंट हो। इस एज में आप एक खास व्यक्ति को बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंस देते हो अपनी लाइफ में। फॉर सम बॉयज इट कैन बी अ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल गर्ल जो आपको लगती है, फॉर सम गर्ल्स इट कैन बी अ बॉय। बट आप इस टाइम पे ना बहुत सारी मिस्टेक्स भी करते हो, एंड फाइनेंशियली भी बहुत सारी मिस्टेक्स करते हो जो आपको नहीं करनी। आइए, कोई बताएगा तो है नहीं, इसका आंसर फिर भी पूछ लेता हूँ। कितने लड़के लड़कियों को गिफ्ट देते हैं? कोई नहीं बताएगा। तूने दिया, अच्छा, बट देते सब। सो इट इज वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट फाइनेंशियल मिस्टेक यू मेक। मैंने अपनी वाइफ को एक्सपेंसिव गिफ्ट्स ही नहीं दिए जब तक वो मेरी वाइफ नहीं बनी। अब देता हूँ क्योंकि सब माल घर में। मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, इट इज द बिगेस्ट फाइनेंशियल मिस्टेक यू मेक। You need not to gift to impress. You just need to become impressive to impress. आपको यहाँ पे कुछ बेसिक चीजें करनी है और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। अच्छा, मेरी कभी फेसबुक पे जाके पुरानी प्रोफाइल पे जाके बैक करके फोटोज देखना, इसमें टाइम लगेगा थोड़ा सा। आपको दिखेगा यार ये लड़का इतनी सुंदर लड़की का पति कैसे बन सकता है। ठीक है, मेरे कॉलेज में ही थी, एंड देयर वर नो चांस इन टर्म्स ऑफ एवरीथिंग, ना पर्सनालिटी ना हाइट। ठीक है, उस टाइम पे पैसे भी नहीं होते थे, गाड़ी चलाना भी मैंने इसकी गाड़ी पे सीखा है। मेरे पास तो गाड़ी भी नहीं होती थी, मुझे 200 रुपये मिलते थे घर से कॉलेज आने के। बहुत सारे लोगों को मिलते होंगे दिन के, है ना, कभी दिन के मिलते होंगे, महीने के, जैसे भी करते होंगे आपके माँ बाप, है ना। तो मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ ये कुछ कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो आपके काम आएंगी। सो उस टाइम पे मैंने अपने आप से एक ही चीज़ पूछी, इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट हर। आपकी कैटरीना कैफ से शादी क्यों नहीं हुई? अब तो उसकी हो गई, उसकी जैसी से क्यों नहीं होगी? क्योंकि आप उसे डिजर्व नहीं करते। ये मैं आपको बहुत शॉर्ट में बता रहा हूँ, चीजें मुझे बहुत लेट समझ आई हैं। यू गेट व्हाट यू डिजर्व। वॉरेन बफे का नाम सुना है? उनके एक बिजनेस पार्टनर है चार्ली मंगर। वो एक बात बोलते हैं, दिस वर्ल्ड इज नॉट क्रेजी इनफ टू रिवॉर्ड अ होल बंच ऑफ अनडिजर्विंग पीपल। ये दुनिया किसी भी अनडिजर्विंग पर्सन को रिवॉर्ड करती ही नहीं है। सर आप 10 लाख रुपए महीना कमाते हो, नहीं कमाते। आप 1 करोड़ रुपए महीना कमाते हो, नहीं कमाते, क्योंकि आप डिजर्व नहीं करते। सिंपल। नहीं सिंपल, ये मतलब ये मुझे रॉकेट साइंस है जो बहुत टाइम बाद समझ आई है। मतलब मुझे एक चीज समझ आ गई यार, मुझे लाइफ में बस उतना ही मिलेगा जितना मैं डिजर्व करता हूं। अगर मैं डिजर्व नहीं करूंगा तो मुझे कुछ नहीं मिलेगा। मुझे ऐसी वाइफ कब मिलेगी जब मैं डिजर्व करता हूं। मैंने ये सोचा अगर ये लड़की ऐसी है तो इसे कैसा लड़का चाहिए होगा, मुझे वैसा बनना है। आप किसी को आइडल मानते हो, वो बहुत बढ़िया कर रहा है, उसे क्यों पैसा मिल रहा है, उसे क्यों रिस्पेक्ट मिल रही है, उसमें ऐसा क्या है जो आप में नहीं है। और अगर आपने अपने आप को इंप्रूव करना शुरू कर दिया इन ऑल सेंसेस, इफ यू बिकम डिजर्विंग यू विल गेट एवरीथिंग इन लाइफ। तुम्हें आज जो भी चाहिए, बड़ा घर चाहिए, बड़ी गाड़ी चाहिए, सब कुछ एग्जिस्ट करता है इसी दुनिया में। करता है बाजी, नहीं करता? कौन सी गाड़ी चाहिए? ऑडी। किसी के पास है, ठीक है, एग्जाम्पल आपके पास है नहीं है, क्योंकि आज आप डिजर्व नहीं करते। नहीं सिंपल, मतलब ऐसे जाके बोलो रोल्स रॉयस के बाहर शोरूम में, भाई रोल्स रॉयस दे दो, वो कहेगा 6 करोड़ रुपए दे दो, शायद तब भी ना दे। पैसे भी ले जाओगे तब भी शायद ना दे, वो प्रोफाइल चेक करे, कुछ भी हो सकता है ना। तो कहने का मतलब यह है आपको डिजर्विंग बनना है। आपके तशरीफ के नीचे वो गाड़ी पक्का आ जाएगी जिस दिन आप उसे डिजर्व करोगे। सिंपल, वेरी वेरी सिंपल। मेरे पास प्राइवेट जेट नहीं है, मैं डिजर्व ही नहीं करता भाई। जिस दिन मैं डिजर्व करूंगा उस दिन आ जाएगा। जो सोचा था छोटी मोटी गाड़ियां, ये सब BMW वगैरह, ये सब मैं 10 खरीद के आ सकता हूँ, आज जेट नहीं खरीद सकता, मैं डिजर्व नहीं करता। दूसरी चीज, मेरा माइंड अभी कंसीव नहीं करता। तीसरी चीज, आई डोंट नीड इट। मैंने अपने आप से पूछा मेरे पास मर्सिडीज क्यों नहीं है। जब नहीं थी, जब मैं कॉलेज में था, तो मैंने कहा कहाँ खड़ी करेगा, तेरे पास मर्सिडीज छोड़ अच्छी बाइक खड़ी करने की जगह नहीं है। सच्चाई नहीं थी, घर छोटा सा था, घर में से मर्सिडीज ही आती, वो भी दीवारें तोड़वा देते तो नहीं आ सकती थी। अच्छा मैंने कहा चल आ गई तो जाएगा कहां, छोले भटूरे खाने। ऐसी जगहों पर भी तो जाना पड़ेगा ना, तो मैं तो नहीं जाता ऐसी जगह पे। सिंपल है, मैं डिजर्व नहीं करता था। जिस दिन आप डिजर्व करोगे यू विल गेट इट। आज फर्स्ट स्टेप से शुरू कर रहा हूं सर। आपकी 30,000 की नौकरी लगेगी या 50,000 की नौकरी लगेगी या 5 लाख की नौकरी लगेगी, या आप एक कंपनी बनाओगे जिसमें 5 लाख वाले लोग काम करेंगे। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वट एवर योर माइंड कैन कंसीव इट कैन अचीव। जितना डिजर्व करोगे औकात से ज्यादा नहीं मिलेगा, और औकात बनानी पड़ती है। सामने वाले में ऐसा क्या है कि उसे 5 लाख की सैलरी मिल रही है और आपको नहीं मिल रही, ये क्वेश्चन पूछना पड़ेगा। अब आ जाते हैं एक अच्छी बात पे। ज्यादातर लोगों को आज की डेट में अच्छी जॉब्स इसलिए नहीं मिलती क्योंकि उनके पास स्किल्स नहीं है। डिग्री तो बहुत सारे लोगों के पास है ना, स्किल्स नहीं है। अब स्किल्स ऐसी कौन सी, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है। कौन सी स्किल्स? बहुत सारी स्किल्स हैं। हाँ, कोडिंग एक स्किल है, म्यूजिक भी स्किल है। अभी कोई बहुत अच्छा गाना गा रहा था, वो भी स्किल है भाई, मुझे नहीं आता। स्विमिंग भी स्किल है, टेबल टेनिस भी स्किल है, पब्लिक स्पीकिंग भी स्किल है। कौन सी स्किल? अभी के लिए आप लोगों ना, आप ना फ्यूचर हो इस देश का, ठीक है? यू गाइस आर द फ्यूचर। एंड इंडिया के अंदर इतनी पॉसिबिलिटीज है कि मैं खुद देख के इंस्पायर हो जाता हूं, क्योंकि मुझे नहीं पता यार यहाँ पे कितने सारे पुष्कर राज ठाकुर और मेरे से भी बहुत ऊपर वाले लोग बैठे हुए हैं। बट मैंने बोला 90% लोगों के साथ कुछ नहीं होने वाला, होगा नहीं। उनका बिलीफ सिस्टम एक दिन में चेंज करना बहुत ही मुश्किल है। तुम्हारा सालों से बना है, मैं एक दिन में क्या कर लूंगा। आपको अगले 5 साल, खासकर अगर आप ये सोच रहे हो कि मुझे एक अच्छी जॉब मिले या मैं कोई बिजनेस करूं, आपको ऐसी स्किल्स पर फोकस करना है जो पैसा कमा के दे सकती हैं आपको। अल्टीमेटली आपको अपना पैशन फॉलो करना है। मैं ऐसे कुछ लोगों को जानता हूं जो नेशनल लेवल पर बैडमिंटन प्लेयर्स रहे हैं, नेशनल लेवल पर इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट करने चाइना गए, थाईलैंड गए, बाहर गए इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट करने, और आज वो छोटा मोटा काम कर रहे हैं क्योंकि उनको उनके पैशन में पैसा नहीं मिला। तो आज उन्होंने अपने पैशन को स्टार्टिंग में फॉलो किया और आज उन्हें घर चलाने के लिए पैसा कमाना पड़ रहा है। मैं कहता हूं आज अगले 5 साल के लिए कुछ ऐसा कर लो कि इतना पैसा हो कि अगली 3 जनरेशंस भी बैठ के पैसा एंजॉय कर पाए। तुम्हारा पैसा आ रहा हो और तुम अपना पैशन एंजॉय कर पाओ। मुझे पब्लिक स्पीकिंग में मजा आता है। मैं वीकडे में आपके साथ बैठा हूं, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा, क्योंकि मुझे पता है आई एम अर्निंग। सिर्फ पैसे के लिए आज काम नहीं कर रहा, क्योंकि मजा आ रहा है यार। मुझे घूमने का बहुत शौक है, मैं हर महीने कहीं ना कहीं घूमता हूं, क्योंकि वो बिल्ड किया। जब मेहनत करने का टाइम था ना, तो देखा नहीं सुबह 7 कब बज रहे हैं, रात के 11 कब बज रहे हैं, कभी नहीं देखा। वो टाइम एंजॉय करने का, और वो टाइम आपका चल रहा है सर। ये टाइम आपका नहीं है। आपको लग रहा है, आपके घर वाले बोलेंगे बेटा ये तो तेरा एंजॉय करने का टाइम है, करना बेटा, यही तो खाने पीने की उम्र है, उसके बाद डायबिटीज की गोलियां खाना। मैं कहता हूं ये टाइम है आपको वो बनने का, मेहनत करने का, जो आपको दुनिया नहीं बोल रही है करने के लिए। इस टाइम पर अगर आपने अगले 5 साल ध्यान दिया ना, आपकी एकेडमिक्स की क्या वैल्यू है मुझे नहीं पता, मुझे तो बहुत ज्यादा काम नहीं आई जिंदगी में, मतलब मैं बता रहा हूं आपको, क्योंकि जो आपको यहां पे पढ़ाया जा रहा है इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टिल द टाइम जब आपको अच्छे मार्क्स लाने हैं, बट यू हैव टू थिंक अबाउट कि प्रैक्टिकली आपको क्या आता है भाई, वेयर यू स्टैंड। इफ यू आर डूइंग इंजीनियरिंग, क्या ये एक्चुअल में आपका पैशन है, ये आपका पैशन है या नहीं है। और अभी स्टार्टिंग में 5 साल के लिए ये पैशन को तो थोड़ा सा आपको फोकस करना पड़ेगा, थोड़े टाइम के बाद अभी ये सोचना पड़ेगा आप क्या कर सकते हो। और आपके सामने जो अपॉर्चुनिटी आए, आई एम टेलिंग यू, अगर आपको कहीं से इंटर्नशिप भी मिलती है ना, उसमें 10,000 रुपए मिलते हैं, जाओ और जाके करो, क्योंकि सीखो। आपको लाइफ में सिर्फ और सिर्फ प्रैक्टिकल चीजें काम आएंगी, प्रैक्टिकल स्किल्स। आपको 10,000 रुपए के लिए आज कहीं जाना पड़ रहा है और आपका 1 रुपया नहीं बच रहा, गो देयर। अपने फ्रेंड्स को आज थोड़े टाइम के लिए छोड़ दो। क्यों? मैं आपको बता रहा हूं, व्हेन यू विल बी वर्किंग, आपके आज जो दोस्त हैं वो दोस्त रहेंगे ही नहीं, सब चेंज हो जाएंगे। वो वक्त बदल जाएंगे, जज्बात बदल जाएंगे, वो होना है, मैं आपको बता रहा हूं, होना है। और ऐसा से मेरे साथ नहीं, मेरी वाइफ से पूछ लो, उसकी जो फ्रेंड्स थी वो अपनी घर गृहस्थियों में लगी पड़ी है, कहां मिलते हैं। फ्रेंड्स तो थे, बट आपके वक्त के साथ दोस्त चेंज हो जाएंगे, जैसे जैसे आप चेंज होगे आपका सर्कल चेंज हो जाएगा। सो अभी के लिए, अगले 5 साल के लिए आप भाई बहुत मैटर करते हो, अपने लिए, अपनी फैमिली के लिए। आज एक लड़की को इंप्रेस करने के लिए आप अपने कॉलेज के 3 साल बर्बाद कर सकते हो, बट अगर आप कुछ बन गए ना, कुछ बन गए, तो आपको इंप्रेस करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। देखो मैं तो अपने ना एक्सपीरियंस से ही बात करता हूं, तो जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, मतलब दिस इज द टाइम यार। मैं अपने कॉलेज में गया और कॉलेज में फ्रेशर्स के अंदर मेरी इतनी बेइज्जती हुई भाई, मेरा मन नहीं करा मैं कॉलेज में जाऊं दोबारा। हम ट्राई कर रहे थे इंप्रेस करने का और वो आता नहीं था, तो उल्टा पड़ गया। हम बहुत सारे लोग ट्राई करते ना यार, कुछ इंप्रेशन बने, कॉलेज जा रहे हैं इंप्रेशन बने, वो इंप्रेशन तो बना नहीं, उल्टा सब खराब हो गया, फिर अकेले पड़ गए, है ना। किसी को पता नहीं रिलेट हो रहा होगा, नहीं हो रहा, आप सबके तो अच्छे इंप्रेशन बन गए होंगे, मेरा तो नहीं बना। तो फिर मुझे लगा कि यार अपने ऊपर काम कर लेते हैं, लेट्स इम्प्रूव आवरसेल्व्स, अपने ऊपर काम करते हैं, लेट्स डू समथिंग कि अपनी स्किल्स इंप्रूव करें। अब आज मैंने आपको छोटी छोटी चीज़ें बताई, आई होप आपके काम आएंगी। पहली बात तो अपने होराइजन को बड़ा करो। आपको लाइफ में एक मेंटोर चाहिए आज की डेट में, ऐसा जिसकी तरह आप बनना चाहते हो, जिसकी भी तरह बनना चाहते हो। मेंटोर्स भी लाइफ में चेंज होते रहेंगे, सो जिसकी भी तरह आप बनना चाहते हो, फाइंड अ मेंटोर, और वो आपको जो बोलते हैं ना करो। दूसरा, आपको जो अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है, चाहे आज की डेट में कितनी ही मेहनत करनी हो, करो। आपके लिए आज फ्रेंड्स बहुत मैटर करते होंगे, आपके लिए पार्टीज बहुत मैटर करती होंगी। मैं आपको बता रहा हूं, आपके लिए आज के 5 साल है, आज से 5 साल, और उसके बाद आगे वाली जिंदगी, ये 5 साल चूज कर लो मेहनत करने के लिए, लाइफ बहुत अच्छी हो जाएगी। यू विल हैव टाइम टू डू व्हाटएवर यू लाइक, अदरवाइज यू विल बी वर्किंग एंड यू विल हैव नो टाइम, एंड यू विल रिमेंबर माय वर्ड्स लेटर ईयर्स इन योर लाइफ कि ऐसा किसी ने कुछ बोला था। बाकी मैंने आपको पहले बताया, ज़्यादातर लोगों को फर्क नहीं पड़ता, ऐसी मैंने बहुत सारी स्पीचेस अपने भी कॉलेज में सुनी थी, बट मैंने सीरियस ले लिया, बहुत सारे लोगों ने नहीं लिया। सो विद दिस आई थिंक आई सर्व्ड यू इन सम वेज। थैंक यू सो वेरी मच।
Thank you so much, sir, for inspiring, and the session was power-packed. Your energy and positivity have now motivated us to push ourselves to grow and be our best selves. Sir, if you could be here for a moment, we would like to call upon stage Dr. Gaurav Agarwal, Head of Department of Economics.
Thank you. Nice meeting you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now I would like to call upon stage Mr. Dharamdev, the Vice President of Compact, the Commerce Society of Maims, to present Mr. Pushkar Thakur with a gift hamper which is sponsored by Bakery Beans.
Done? Thank you.
Discipline, the zeal to learn, situational awareness, and discerning listening skills are the building blocks of a good leader. Our speaker is a quintessential leader of the moment. Now, let's welcome our speaker, Ms.Taanya Kathpal. She is an entrepreneur, growth consultant, NFT crypto marketer, and community builder. She is the founder of Eat My News, a community-driven social media platform where writers and people from all across the world can share their articles and stories. A firm believer in power of messages, she is a 3-time TEDx speaker and has been invited to 50+ premier institutions like IIM Calcutta, IIM Rohtak, NSR, DSE, etc. Not only that, she has a vision of promoting leadership amongst the youth. She has hosted 10 youth leadership conferences as well, which had participants from India and all across the world. To say that she is a good leader would be an understatement. On that note, let's give a big round of applause for her.
So good afternoon everyone and good afternoon ma'am. I welcome you to Maims and I welcome you to this interview. Are you comfortable right now?
Yes, thank you.
And how are you doing?
I'm doing great and I must congratulate you on such a well-organized event. The moment I entered here, the vibes were wonderful. The performance for the Ganesh performance, and then there was the Saraswati lamp lighting and everything. I think the vibes here are beautiful and I really want to congratulate the entire team for putting this together. Thank you for having me here.
Please give a huge round of applause. Ma'am, with your permission, may I kickstart the interview?
Yes.
So my first question to you is that one of the major things about passion and career growth is that how do you know what drives you? How do you know what interests you in your field? I take it there were also a lot of trial and errors in your case as well to find your passion as well.
Yes, absolutely. So your question is, how does one find their passion? That's a phenomenal question to begin with. And first of all, what is passion? A lot of times this word is thrown around where, people are like, okay, find your passion. And most of the people just keep contemplating that what is this passion that I'm looking for? Is it some sort of a device? Is it some sort of a gift that I'm going to possess at certain times and it's something that's going to become my destiny? And then, a lot of people also feel very pressured. There were 2 young men who performed so well. They sung such a lovely Bollywood song. And we often feel that, there are some people who are gifted with a lot of talent. And what about me? What am I supposed to do? Is my career trajectory just supposed to be the usual? Wherein, I'll do my graduation, post-graduation, look for a job, go in or start a business or corporate or whatever it is that you want to do. One thing that I've learned in my life is that passion is not a thing that you do, but passion is your way of being. And whenever we understand that, all the sorrows and all the challenges that often come into our lives it can be a pathway to for all of those to disappear. Now, what do I mean by that? It means that whatever it is that you're doing, if you do it with love and joy, and those are the things that are going to become the stepping stones for where you're meant to be. All of us are going to find our life's purpose. That's going to be there. Whatever your purpose in life is, you're going to achieve it in this lifetime. That's the belief that you have to have. But whatever it is that you're doing, you do it with a lot of joy and love. Whether you like it or you don't like it, believing that it is going to help you find your ultimate pathway or wherever it is that you want to be.
Rightly said, ma'am. Ma'am, you are the founder of Eat My News. First of all, unique name. I was actually laughing when I heard Eat My News. But you also have 10,000 members across the globe, approximately. So what led to it? What actually goes behind your mind to evolve your business internationally?
Okay. Firstly, I want to also congratulate you on your phenomenal confidence.
Thank you.
So, yes. So, Eat My News is a unique name. And a lot of people have often asked that, why did you name it Eat My News? The reason was just that knowledge is something. So news is something that is knowledge or any kind of information. That was the idea that I had when I started it, and I felt like just like we feed ourselves with food every day, are we feeding our intellect as well? So that was the logic, and then the logic was to give it a quirky name because nobody is able to forget this name. Whenever I mention it, something that's always remembered by a lot of people. So that was the logic. Now, what is it that led to the growth of community and building a community? Yes, so when I say a community, it's not just, people on social media, it's actual people from across the world who have become volunteers and members of Eat My News and who've really believed in the vision that one day every person will be positively inspired, informed and intelligent. Now, why is it that, so many people want to be a part of this? And the only logic that I've always applied and the only principle that I've always lived by in my life is that every community member that joins Eat My News has to get something back from it. And one of the important things or the bedrock for that is good leadership. And when I say good leadership, I mean that if every person in the community learns how to be a good leader, because that's something that our society definitely needs. And what is the basis of good leadership is love. So I think this community that I've built is completely based on love. I feel that if you can give people utmost amount of love, compassion, respect, give them an environment where they do not feel judged, they're able to thrive and grow, because every person is actually bubbling to grow. And if they get that right environment, which is nurturing for them, which is encouraging for them, so I think that's the only basis of this growth of community. And we just stand by giving love to every person, and then it just keeps growing on its own.
It sounds really noble, ma'am, the idea of love and leadership. Ma'am, my next question to you is that I have watched all of your TED Talks as well. Great job, by the way. And I would like to ask you, although you have already covered this part in your TED Talks as well, but I want you to enlighten the audience present over here that how to be confident, how one should be confident. Even if they do find their passion, it's not like they're fully confident in what they are about to do is going to bear fruit in the future.
Okay, so what you've heard or me say in my TED Talk, my answer may be slightly different from it now, because we all evolve as people. That was something that I gave years ago, and every year we're really growing to be different people. I just want to say one thing to you all, that all of us have struggles in our lives, and struggles are what actually make you stronger. Yes, it may sound like a very dispopular belief, but struggles are something that make you stronger. Now you'll be like, why am I supposed to have any kind of struggles? These are the questions that most people often have. But whatever I am, the fact that I'm here today is a matter of privilege. It's something, I may have done something right in my life that, I have the honor of being here, sitting amongst each one of you who are lending your ear to me. And I really, really appreciate and thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for giving me your time. Now, there are a lot of different struggles that I've had in my life, which have helped me to understand that what is it that truly is to be confident. Now, there's no theory to it. Confidence is a feeling, and that confidence can only come when you feel liberated from within. Even if you have an iota of doubt within yourself, even if you have some kind of a limiting belief inside you, imagine when you feel so free as a person. Like, what if I tell you that, you have to come here and dance your heart out? Most of you will feel very afraid. You will think, oh, what is my friend next to me going to think about? What are my teachers going to think about me? Am I doing the right step? Am I being good enough? Till the time you have these inhibitions within yourself, how can you ever be confident? So confidence is the ultimate state of feeling liberated from within, which transpires into this wonderful aura or personality which people call confidence. Isn't it? There's it's not like that there is, somebody's going to force feed you, oh my God, you're confident and stuff. And I think just two, three points that I feel could definitely help you. One of them is knowledge. When I say knowledge, it does not mean that, you just have to keep reading. Knowledge about whatever it is that you're doing will empower you. Let's say if you want to be an entrepreneur, understanding, various things that you need for your business to succeed. Or if you want to be an astronaut, educating yourself and learning about whatever hard skills that are required for your job. What other things that you need when it comes to knowledge? Knowledge of finance. There is also, on this planet, there is also a very important aspect which is called the material realm, which means that you're all somewhere working towards material stability or financial stability, however you want to say it. And when that is attained, there is a different kind of confidence you get. So for which it's very important for you to educate yourself about how to manage money. You're learning a lot of things in your college, I'm sure, but what most people don't teach is what do you do with money? If I put, let's say, 1 lakh rupees in your account today, what are you going to do with it? Most people are going to be like, I'll shop this, I'm gonna go and buy a new television, I really need a phone, and then rest I'll ask my parents and I'll invest it somewhere. So understanding how to manage money, and then also understanding yourself, knowledge of self. How many of us really have knowledge of self? If you are able to become a very self-aware person, that's where also confidence can stem from. Now, what do I mean by self-awareness? What makes you happy? What makes you sad? Or what makes you very, very angry? How are you behaving with a particular person whenever, you're talking to them, or if it's creating some kind of conflicts? What do you really do which creates conflicts between you and others? So being aware of your self every second, if you can do that, that is also something that creates confidence, when you really know yourself. And then of course there are a lot of other things, but I'll let you ask your next question and keep elaborating.
Yes, ma'am. Speaking of self-awareness, Pushkar Raj ji was also talking about how you have to find a mentor in order to exceed in life. But the thing about mentorship is that is guidance really necessary on the road to success? And if we do find a mentor, how are we supposed to go about it? Are we supposed to blindly follow each and everything? Like, for example, if Shah Rukh Khan did this, I'm going to do that as well. No, it's not like practically the same thing is going to apply for me as well.
Okay, another very, very interesting question. Mentor. How many people have come here and told you that you need a mentor? Now, what is a modern day mentor? Have you ever thought about it? In ancient times, this kind of modern education did not exist. I'm talking about periods of Ramayana and Mahabharata, maybe 5, 10, thousands of years ago. Even at that point of time, when kids were growing up, they were supposed to go to Gurukul and have a guru who they were following. Now, in today's day and age, you have multiple gurus. There's a guru for mathematics, there is a guru for science. We have multiple gurus, and then there are a lot of people who tell you that you need to find a mentor for yourself. What does a mentor mean or do? A mentor should ideally be a person who's walked the path that you want to walk on now. That is what an ideal mentor is. Now tell me one thing, if you have somebody whose expertise is in business, can you go to them for spiritual advancement? You cannot, right? Somebody who's an actor, you can't go to them for, a business knowledge. So you have to find a guru for yourself who you respect, who you really look up to, who you can show the way. But having this expectation of living somebody else's life is in itself fundamentally wrong. I'll tell you why. Like, you can say that you want to be Shah Rukh Khan or you want to be Amitabh Bachchan, but there will only be one Shah Rukh Khan and Amitabh Bachchan. There will never be another one. But that does not mean that you will not be your best version in life. You may even do better than them. Who knows that? But there will only be one of those people. Now, sometimes, mentors are, you can be very lucky if you find somebody like that in your life who you really look up to, who holds not just great knowledge but great moral standards as well. Somebody who can show you the right path. So if you are lucky if you can find such a person. But there's nothing wrong in even having a mentor who you probably never meet. There's nothing wrong in that. Nowadays, there is access to a lot of information even on the internet, right? On YouTube, let's say if you follow somebody really, really ardently, they are also your mentors. What is mentor? Mentor is imparting some kind of a teaching to you. So that person actually is your guru.
Thank you, ma'am. That was really actually insightful. And first of all, please silence over there. Please. Respect the speaker, please. Now, ma'am, I would like to move on to the final question of this interview. Now, talking about Eat My News, it's a global platform. And when we talk about moving globally, there's this always fear that how am I going to perform overseas? So, there's also, people also say कि इसमें तो lucky हो गया, ये luck किसके साथ था? So, do you actually think that luck was on your side or was it all the contribution of your hard work?
Okay, so there are two questions mixed in one. Is it a question about luck and hard work, or is it about how do you do things overseas, or both?
Both, ma'am.
Okay, so first of all, what's really happened after the pandemic is that the world has become truly one, and it is going to become even more closer in the moving times. You guys have heard about Web3? If you have, could you raise your hands? My goodness. Very few people have raised their hands. It's very worrisome because you should know about it, because it is something that is going to be your and mine future. Right now we're living in the age of Web 2. Okay, now first let's break it down for you. What is Web 1? Web 1 is when the internet first came and you were able to read things on the internet. Like you read in the newspaper, it just moved online and you were able to consume information. Then the Web 2 came, which is social media, where suddenly now you could like people's like people's content, you could comment on it, and you could also start creating your own content and posting it. Like, it was mind blowing and phenomenal. Had somebody told you that this is going to happen in the 90s, you would have not believed it. There would have been utter disbelief. Now, similarly, we're going through a change which is towards Web3. Now you're already able to interact with the internet in a very 2D way. Now what if I tell you that you're going to enter the internet in some way? Your experience of the internet is going to be an immersive one. That's what Web3 is about. Now Web3 has a lot of different aspects to it. I can't really elaborate on all of them, but one of the fundamental bases why Web3 exists is decentralization. Because now communities are going to be even more powerful. They're going to be the basis of any business that exists in the future. Everybody wants to build a loyal community, everybody wants to build an engaged community. People are focusing on decentralization. Now, earlier, let's say if some of you are YouTubers, you're always looking into monetizing your YouTube content. But now, instead of monetizing your content, what if you were part owners of YouTube? Now, this is very different, just from the shareholders pattern. I know you can invest in the share market and you become part owner and trading. This is not what I'm talking about. This is about having actual ownership of a business which you have a say on, how it runs. That's what is going to be the future of organizations, decentralized autonomous organizations. The applications that exist today, such as Uber, which are centralized, are going to become decentralized applications. The financial ecosystem is going to fundamentally change. It already is, from the time of fixed deposits to the time of mobile applications where people are just quickly investing money and finding new schemes, or UPI, as you can see that it's prevalent. Even small shopkeeper, everybody is well aware of UPI. So decentralized finance is also going to be a big thing. Now Web3 is much beyond crypto. Crypto is there's a false belief that it is just about currency. No, it's not. Now the government of India has called it a digital asset, but crypto is actually not just currency, but it is going to be the future of how transactions may take place across the world. Your NFTs may define the way ownership is going to be ascertained in the future. This metaverses are going to be bigger than your Facebook and Instagram, wherein you're going to spend a sizable chunk of your daily time. So, are you understanding the gravitas of this revolution? So, globe is going to become one. So, you are no longer bound by just being in Delhi or being in India. Virtual jobs after COVID have become a big reality. You can actually work in any part of the world sitting here in your house. Could anybody have imagined a scenario such as work from home? Virtual jobs, locally have become a reality, but you can work for anybody in your own city, your own country, across the world. So do not let the geographical foundations limit you in any which way. And because the world has endless possibilities that you can really explore. And as far as luck or hard work is concerned, luck is nothing but opportunities that knock your door. Luck is nothing but opportunities that knock your door. Remember that last email that you got from somewhere that changed your life. Remember seeing some WhatsApp message that came in some of your groups where you applied and it changed your life. Remember that trip that you took that you were very apprehensive of going for, and it was a wonderful experience. It changed your life. Luck is nothing but it is opportunities that will keep knocking your door throughout your life. And what is hard work or smart work or whatever, is your ability to recognize those opportunities, be ready when they knock your door, and to be able to seize them. Now, how do you be ready for these kind of opportunities? The work that you put in the tough times or the challenging times is the work that is going to bear you results maybe at a much later time. Now, for example, a lot of times it will happen that let's say if you've not cracked a particular entrance, it's taken you some amount of time, but the work that you may have been doing for it for years is something that's going to fructify only at the right time. So that's what you mean by when hard work meets luck. And just be patient with your life. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. There's nothing bigger in life than timing. So yeah, just believe in yourself, keep doing good work, be ethical, and everything else will fall in place on its own.
Boy, I am a little intimidated. I have to start doing hard work. So thank you so much, ma'am, for this interview. I hope you had a great time. And please give ma'am a huge round of applause. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. I hope I've been able to add some value to your life. Once again, thank you so much for having me here. It was a privilege to be here, and I wish you all the best. And if you want, you can always connect with me on social media as well. I'm quite active on Instagram. It's just that I'm there with TAANYA and then Kathpal. So you can always connect with me there. And have a good life, have a good evening, and just enjoy your life. Everything else will fall into place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an enlightening session. If you could please stay with us for a moment. I would like to call upon stage Dr. Sumedha Datta, President of MAX, to present a token of appreciation to Ms.Taanya Kathpal. And I would like to call Bhumi Sardana, the General Student Coordinator of Compact.
Two of the most important aspects in life. It's a great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Subhash Garg. Sir is a 1983 batch IAS officer of the Rajasthan cadre. Sir possesses graduate degree in law, LLB, and commerce, BCom.
To connect with the last set of audience and still differ is something worthy of admiration. On that note, let me introduce you all to Ms.Aashi. She's a New Delhi-based social media influencer, a fashion blogger, and a model who comes from a management background as she did her bachelor's in business from Sri Guru Gobind College of Commerce. She's a combination of beauty and brains.
Just a second. Please kindly take your seats. Great time today. These lots of lovely people are here out there, showering their knowledge and information to all of us. So, ma'am, if I may I start the interview?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, as all of you have heard from the introduction, ma'am's a blogger. And blogger, that's something which is like red hot nowadays. Everyone wants to become a blogger. Everyone has their own page. They are trying to cook up and gather as many as followers on Instagram, whether it be on any other platform as well. So the thing about being bloggers is that you have to stand out. You have to do something different which separates you from the rest. So in your case, what was the essentials that made you stand out? And what should one do in order to stand out as well?
I think the most important thing is to be organic.
So when I just started off, I did not want to be an influencer. I was a college student and then I went for my master's and I wanted a job and I did try that. But I always enjoyed, clicking pictures and taking pictures before going to college. And I started getting a lot of love for what I did organically. So I think something that comes to you naturally and is organic to you is, I think, can help you stand out. You cannot copy and, you have to just do your own thing.
Concise and precise. I like that, ma'am. So, ma'am, the next thing is actually very irritating and as well as an important thing, which is the Instagram algorithm. Seriously, it doesn't work every time. Even how much you post, it doesn't know when you have to, the reach will come there or not. So, when it comes to you, did you have any issues with Instagram algorithm, or are you even still facing issues now?
I have a lot of problem with the Instagram algorithm. So when I started off, it was way easier, to be honest. But now it has become very, very difficult. I'm not, nobody's getting as much engagement as it was earlier. It is, I think, because of, they've made it difficult. If you have to become something, you have to try just really hard. And I think on Instagram, anything can, just कुछ भी viral हो जाता है, So you never know what you post, क्या अच्छा जाता है, क्या नहीं जाता. So it takes a toll on your mental health also sometimes. It has become difficult, really.
Speaking of mental health, social media is just infamous for hate comments as well. I get that, you get that a lot as well. So does that put you in a bad face as well?
It has never bothered me, to be honest. I don't read the negative comments. My friends and my brothers and sisters, they keep fighting or they keep replying. It really doesn't bother me, really. It's best not to see.
Yes, ma'am. So, when we start any blogging phase, it's not like skyrocketed. Yeah, I have like 100K followers in one day. It was a slow and tedious journey for you as well. So you must have to endure it as well to get where you are right now.
It was, in fact, a very slow journey. I started from 10K in college and it took me around 3 to 4 years to get to 300K. And since I've been on 300K, it has already been a year and I'm still trying to grow and I'm still really trying hard. But it's not as easy as it used to be. So I have to sometimes I want to stop because I get tired that ho to raha nahi hai. But then again, I have no other option. I continue because this is what I like doing.
Speaking of what people like doing, it's not uncommon for Indian families to not support blogging. Especially my family, they don't support blogging as well. They tell me that it's not a career even. So, did you face the same circumstances as well?
Sometimes my relatives still ask me, "Tu kya karti hai?" So, I'm still facing it. Not everyone thinks that I work. They think that I chill, I relax, and I'm jobless and useless. But I think now, once you start making money, then they start taking you seriously. But since a lot of my relatives don't know what I do, so they still think that I am unemployed. But I think with time, it'll change and they will understand this is actually more than a 9 to 5. Because my mind is working all the time. 24 hours I'm out. Iski reel kaise banegi? Iska content bana le. Which is actually very toxic also at times. When you're enjoying and you're thinking, how can I make this into a reel? So it is actually difficult.
Sounds really tedious, ma'am. I can never do it. So, at this point of your career, do you still have that sort of fire and hunger that I want to be the best, I want to be the best out there? Or is that fire diminished? Or do you try to keep that fire running in yourself?
I have good days and bad days. Like today, I'm very happy because I'm here and I'm talking to people. So I'm feeling very energetic, very happy. I want to do more. I want to get there. But sometimes when my content is not getting the love that I expected to get, then I have my bad days and I think कि यार वापस job पे चले जाती हूँ. क्यों करना है ये? But I'm hanging in there, just swimming.
So my final question to you is that, as a blogger, it's not really easy to bring out new ideas. But you are a fashion influencer as well. So it's like new fashion comes out every time, but you have to take out the opportunity to try in different combinations as well to find the best and give it to the public. So has this been a problem to you, or the thing about being organic just came naturally to you and it has never been a problem to you?
So I don't always run after what is in fashion. and I think I just stick to what I like, what is my style. I don't always want to try out different things. Most fashion bloggers do, but I stick to a very common domain कि जो normal लोग हैं जो मैं पहनती हूँ वो everyone can go out and wear it. I do experiment very rarely, but I like to stick to what I like, what everyone can wear. So that is one thing that I try to do कि जो मैं outfit पहन रही हूँ वो everyone here can wear it. ऐसा नहीं है कि बस पहना और reel डाल दी and nobody can wear it.
Ma'am, any message for an upcoming blogger? I mean, that they want to hear from you.
I think just keep trying, and if it takes a long time to reach there, you shouldn't stop. We are also all trying our best. So, and just do what comes organically to you. And keep trying.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
That
you.
was a lovely interview. Thank you. Please give a huge round of applause.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was very inspiring to know. It was very inspiring to know about your journey. You are a big inspiration for many of us, and to have such confidence and elegance is commendable. Now, can we please have on stage Ms. Rashita Agrawal, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, to present a token of appreciation to Ms.Aashi Wadhwa. I would like to call on stage Mahi Jindal, Treasurer Commpact, to present a gift hamper which is sponsored by Bakery Beans. Two of the most important aspects of life. It's a great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Subhash Chandra Garg. Sir is a 1983 batch IAS officer of the Rajasthan Cadre. Sir possesses graduate degrees in law, LLB, and commerce, BCom, from the Rajasthan University, Ajmer. Mr. Garg is a professionally qualified cost and management accountant. Sir is also a qualified company secretary. Sir has served in various key positions for both the Union government and the government of Rajasthan. He is an economic, financial and fiscal policy strategist. Sir has also worked with the National Institute of Public Finance and Policy on deputation as a principal consultant. He has served as both the Economic Affairs Secretary and Finance Executive Director of the World Bank. In addition, he was responsible for policy management of power sector. Having said that, please welcome Mr. Subhash Chandra Garg.
Very good afternoon to you all. Nice to be with the young new generation coming up in the field of finance, economics. I understand most of you study economics and finance. So what I'll do is, I'll speak for about 30 odd minutes, take you through to what changes are emerging in the field of economics and finance, and where you can probably fine-tune your careers and how do you shape up your journey in times to come. And then we will have a free-flowing interactive session for about 15-20 minutes. Feel free to ask any questions, whichever one you have on your mind. Make your comments and feel free in that, because I guess the best way to sort of have a discussion is to unleash your creative mind and have a free-flowing discussion. All right. So We are in 21st century, as all of us are aware, and this is the generation next in Y, Z and Y. In the field of economy and finance, massive changes are taking place. You have seen in last few years, as you have grown and come to the college and all, there has been enormous changes, especially by the onset of what we now call digitalization of. Economy, as you would just to appreciate in a very basic sense, the economy is the production of goods and services. It creates value when you produce goods and services. And those goods and services are valued by consumers and also by those who create assets, whether you construct the real estate or you construct the storage houses or whatever. So those value, when it gets produced, that is where all of us, whether you work as workers in the system, or you are entrepreneurs setting up the industry or the businesses, or you work in the government and take something out of the value created as taxes, direct or indirect taxes. So every one of us, in a way, across the board, workers, entrepreneurs in the government, actually get the resources from the value of goods and services produced. Nothing really happens unless you have that value generated. And as many of you would have appreciated, we measure the value broadly in terms of what we call GDP, or gross domestic product. The gross domestic product is the gross domestic value added in businesses by producing goods and services, minus the plus the net taxes, the taxes given to the government, minus the subsidies provided by the government. So that GDP, if it grows, our income, collective income grows. If the GDP doesn't grow, then in a way we are worse off because our incomes don't grow. So you heard at the time of COVID in 2020, when all over the world, and India also, because of COVID, the governments closed a lot of businesses, people also stayed indoors, and the value creation in a way was adversely affected. And our economy or GDP contracted by about 6.5%. But last year in 21-22, we have recovered quite a lot. We grew up by about 8.5% plus. And this year we are also expected to grow at about 7%. Some of you might have noted the statements coming out from the gathering of the people in the IMF and the World Bank in Washington, D.C., which describe that India is a bright spot in otherwise a very dark horizon. So, because the global growth is this year quite adversely affected, and India with a growth of about 6.8% or 7% is expected to grow much better than others, and we might be in a position to compensate for most of what we lost earlier. And therefore, growth is very important, and economy is where the growth is all about. And when you go a little more deeper into it, you would find that there are 4 big areas, and that is where I think the kind of skills and the knowledge which you would be building up in your careers to come will be very relevant. There are 4 broad sections of the economy, so to say, if I may put it that way. Number 1, a lot of assets get created in the economy. The real estate, so you construct houses, storages, warehouses, data centers now, and many more of other real estates, factories for that matter, infrastructure, roads, irrigation works, etc., all of them put together. That's what our asset base is. So more you create the asset base, the more you create the infrastructure and other assets, you grow well. In other words, we also call it the capital formation. So the economies which make more and more of capital, they create more and more value for the future. And then the second one, which is the main side of the economy, is the goods production. So you produce goods in agriculture, you produce goods in minerals, you produce goods in industry, the manufacturing. There is a very vast area. Much of the value for many centuries was created largely in agriculture. When the Industrial Revolution came about, a couple of years back, or 2 centuries back, so to say, when humanity learned how to build machines and how to utilize very gainfully the power of energy, the steam power earlier, then coal, petroleum, electricity, and all kind of energy resources were created to run the machines. So while earlier it was the men and the women who used to use their own labor, their bodies, hands, legs, etc., to make the production in agriculture by running plows or doing agriculture, sowing, cutting, everything was done manually. When industrialization came, a lot of things happened by use of machines or manufacturing, as we call it. So you dig up the iron ore and then you convert the iron ore into a steel, or you take out the limestone and you convert the limestone into cement and other kind of products. Likewise, you take the agriculture produce and you turn it into a lot of other agricultural produce, noodles or whatever you may call. So all of them use machines to convert into a useful kind of product. So that industrialization, which took place in last 200 years or so, really made a difference who became rich and who remained poor. So those countries which got industrialized very well, so it began with UK, then spread all over Europe, North America, elsewhere, and they got industrialized and they became rich. And countries like ours, who remained focused or largely into the agriculture and did not do very nice or quick industrialization, became relatively poor. So some of you must have heard that in 16th and 17th century, India used to produce about 25% of global GDP, and we were one of the 2 largest and the richest economies of the world beside China, which produced about 33-34% of the global GDP in that agricultural era, and India 25%. UK at that time used to produce only about 2% of global GDP and was relatively poor in 16th and 17th century. It's only the 18th and 19th century and 20th when the industrialization took place that they became rich and we became poorer. Now that opportunity is again coming because there is a digitalization wave in the world. Now you are converting everything into literally data, and that data used with the communication technologies which are coming in the form of this digital transmission, electromagnetic wave-based transmission, what you see in your mobile phones, your computers, communications, and all kind of things, that is giving the real power to the entrepreneurs to create bigger and bigger value. So what you see today, some of you might be following, that the largest rated stock exchange companies in the world, today the Googles of the world, Microsofts of the world, Facebook and others, are all tech companies because that is where they're creating the maximum value. whereas the industrial companies, which were the value creator of about last two centuries or so, are no longer that much value creating, and the agriculture in any case had been left behind. And therefore those economies and those countries which are fast converting into the digitalization wave and adopting those are the ones which are likely to be the future rich countries of the world and the future rich people of the world. So today, when you go into the little bit more into the digitalization economy or digital economy or data economy, so to say, there are a couple of parts of it. There is a hardware part, there is a software part, there is a platform parts, and there is services part. So India has done reasonably well in services, but we have not done very well into either the hardware part or the telecommunication parts, or by the way into platforms creation. And therefore today the US, China, which are the largest digital economies of the world, are actually forging ahead fast, much faster than what India is doing. And therefore today, for the young people like you who are going to get into the job markets and all, or some of you might actually become entrepreneurs, will do well if you can seize the advantages or the opportunities which are being offered by the digital economy. And can you get, or all of us can get India into hardware, India into telecom, India into platforms, e-commerce, ed tech, fintech, whatever. So using the technology for delivering those kind of services is what is the key advantage. And that is where there is another part of the economy which I was describing, is the big financial world, where you, so for one, either you get into the asset creation, or you get into the goods production, or you get into the services, or you get into the financial side. These are the four big sort of buckets of the economy. Now when you come, you are, most of you are studying for graduation or for the post-graduation studies, and now in essence, if you look at it, whatever you do, you are actually doing either both of things or one of the two things, right? So in the education system, in the education phase, when you are there, you are either acquiring knowledge or you are acquiring skills. And these are the two things which are required for doing or building careers or businesses or whatever you have. The knowledge in the school you studied, which were more about knowing as such, knowing you, your bodies, your society, your nation, your geography, your politics, your history, and those kind of things. That knowledge is not skills. That knowledge, except being a teacher, doesn't give you any jobs or any career opportunities. When you come into the college or higher studies, you start studying the specific areas where the knowledge contribute to either creation of technologies or creation of research based kind of knowledge. Let us say, for example, we were discussing about the digital technologies. Now, the digital technology, you must have heard recently there was auction of spectrum. There is also a PLI, this production linked incentive scheme for semiconductors, and there is a lot of talk about the chip designing and other kind of things. What are these? What is this semiconductors technology? What is this electromagnetic wave spectrum which is auctioned? And what is the production or manufacturing of the technologies for harnessing them? These are highly developed kind of knowledges. If you go into, for example, electromagnetic wave, we take it very much for granted that we have iPhones and the Samsung phones, etc., 4G, 3G, right? These are based on very great knowledge harnessed into technologies and converted into useful products. That knowledge has been created by someone. If you read, even in our country, Mr. Bose, Jagdish Bose, was a pioneer in studying the magnetic waves. But later on, we did not do much of the research and all, and other advanced countries took it. So today, you would have again heard that the people who got the spectrum license for, and there are 3 major companies in the country, 2 of them are trying to come up with a 5G technology, which is partly indigenous, ORAN kind of technology with Geo and Airtel is trying to come up with. And that technology, but 5G, 4G, 3G, somebody developed it. And now in times to come, getting into 6G or maybe 7G, etc. in times to come. Now, can you, or do you have ambition into studying those knowledge, acquiring that knowledge to build those technologies in times to come? Do you have the intention or ability to get into the chip designing, which is the core of the digital economy? Nothing really is happening today unless you have some embedded chip in the product. Even agricultural operations are getting chip designed. All our cars, all our home appliances have something or the other kind of chips. Somebody designs this chip. Somebody knows how to do it. We don't produce. There are no manufacturers or entrepreneurs in India which produce chips. Very little of it. All the chips are Qualcomms and other companies which are there all over the world, or the TMC of the Taiwans who manufacture the chips. There is an attempt now which India is trying to make to get into the semiconductors manufacturing, but our engineers are doing chip designing for people who are, or for the companies which are abroad, and therefore our youngsters, our people have the ability to get into the chip designing and all. It's a matter of that interest carrying forward or focusing on that kind of. I don't know whether engineering colleges still teach the chip designing, etc., or they are still lower in the. But those who are studying economy and those who are studying commerce would also do well to understand how this chip business or chip economies work, and can India set up profitable businesses into this kind of area. Look at the e-commerce or the change of every services which is becoming technology driven. Fintech is, a lot of payment companies are coming up using fintech. There are a lot of asset management companies which are using fintech. There are a lot of health companies which are now using health tech, education companies, etc. So, but the central point there is the ability to adapt or make use of the technology for delivering the service which otherwise you deliver manually or physically. For example, you can take payment, or you can make payment by depositing your money into bank or withdrawing from your bank, or depositing check in your bank and doing it. Or you can, as all of you must have been doing by now, use UPI or IMPS and others to make immediate kind of payments using the technology. But the UPI is also a business which has been built into it. And therefore, in times to come, so my sense is that anyone who studies commerce today, whether it's accounting or banking, or for that matter any other insurance or any other branch of the finance or commerce, will not be a very successful person in times to come unless he or she has also studied how to run that or how to deliver that service better by using the technology. Right. So in times to come, to my mind, all your studies, when you take a decision about acquiring the knowledge and also the skill, these should be. So my advice to you, if I can offer you, is at this stage when you are in your careers, please the economy is very vast, very big. Even the scope of commerce and services is very vast. No one can deliver, no one can develop expertise, no one can build big businesses in any or every aspect of the economy or the commerce. Zero in where you have the best interest. Do you like manufacturing? Do you like to do agricultural work or manage the agricultural value chain? Do you feel services are the better one for you? In services, do you like to do banking, or you have preference for fintech, or you have preference for delivering commerce services by using e-commerce platforms and building that kind of thing? So first, please make an assessment of yourself and including your strength, academic or otherwise, as well as your interest. That where does the main interest lies for you? What you love, what you are more passionate about, what makes you get the best kick, if I may say so, of doing things. Where does your mind lead to? By the way, as we know, there are 90 billion neurons in every one of us mind, and these neurons are to be used for actually being successful in life. And the neocortex brain, which is about 65% of the entire neuron stock, is where the people in your kind of life, the sportsmen will go and use more of the reptilian brain, the social guys, the NGOs and others will use more of, or government, politicians will use more of the social brain, but the intellectuals, the businessmen, the working people will need to use more of your neocortex brain. And if you can successfully sort of harness your knowledge and skills in your neocortex brain, then you would be probably much more successful in your life, in building your careers and all. So this is my first advice. Second, believe in yourself that in a lifetime, people can go from zero to hero. They can become the most successful. Look at the current crop of the most successful businessmen or entrepreneurs in the world or even in India. Many of them are first or second generation people who have built businesses absolutely fantastically in 20 or 30 years, and they have become the best in the world. The advantage of the parental wealth or parental sort of businesses was more in the industrial and the agricultural economy. These advantages are much less in the highly competitive and ever developing digital economy. And therefore, you can hope and you can be confident that if you follow your passion, what you decide, and become the best or very best in acquiring knowledge and skill for that, you can actually build businesses, or you can build technologies and do render that kind of services to the best of your ability. So believe in yourself. And today, with virtually globalization becoming the entire market, it is said that your growth is limited only by the extent of your markets. If you are not allowed to export, if you are not allowed to trade with the world, and you're confined to a smaller sort of geography, then your market would be limited, your scope for growth would be limited. But if your market is the wider, then you can do much better and build larger businesses. So today, the market for everything, market for goods, market for services, market for finance, is a global market. And therefore, you can reach to the global heights if you really are the best in that field. And therefore, I think, to summarize, the opportunities are all there for you. The big wave of digitalization, and these are once in lifetime kind of changes, or once in centuries kind of changes which take place. So industrial revolution created for about 200 to 250 years the big opportunities. We did not get the best of it. This digitalization wave, in my judgment, would be about 50 to 75 years max. In that, most of the value which requires to be created by use of these technologies and the abilities would be generated. And therefore, if we can get our act together fast and develop the competencies and the abilities fast, we can rule the world. Otherwise, we might remain behind. So I wish you all very well. Good luck to you. Do well, and we open to questions and comments. Thank you. Feel free to say, comment, ask. Just don't hold yourself back. Whatever comes to your mind, just shoot off.
Sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, do you feel that the capital has changed from London to Washington?
Oh, capital is changed from?
London to Washington.
London to Washington. You didn't say London to Delhi.
No.
All right. See, that's a very fair question. The capital, which is the most essential sort of ingredient besides the labor and the enterprise for creation of value, much of the capital in the agricultural stage, as I said, was in countries like China and India. And the industrial stage or the revolution created most of the capital in the countries where the industrialization took place, and therefore there was a capital. London became the global city for the capital, and the UK became the investors of the world. But by the time we were into early 20th century, the United Kingdom was losing the edge, and the North American, especially the US, was coming up very fast as the inheritor or creator of the capital. And the center of gravity indeed shifted from the UK to United States, or London to New York for that matter, if one can put it that way. And for last about 80-90 years, the capital is centered, if I may say so, in the United States. There are many manifestations of the capital. You look at the currency. So the dollar is the currency of the world, literally today. In the UK era, the pound sterling was the currency of the world. Today, the dollar is the currency of the world. Most of the capital investment originates in the United States. Most of the world holds the reserves in United States dollars, and the capital is out there. But now the jury is out that in the digitalization era, where does the most capital get created? Who is the most efficient? United States continue to be very efficient, and in this, China has taken on the mantle of creating a lot of capital in this space. We can also emerge as the center of global finance and capital, but we may not, and therefore, at this moment, if I may say so, the center of gravity for capital is indeed the North America. Nothing very interesting, it looks. Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to ask, is India heading towards a grayscale or not towards a golden dream but a grayscale?
Say it again, I am not able to listen.
I am saying,
is India headed to?
Towards not a golden dream but a grey area, as we are seeing in the current world situations.
Not in the golden dream?
Like a 10 trillion economy.
Yes.
But a grey area in
the grey.
Yeah, in next upcoming years.
By the way, as you mentioned 10 trillion, I wrote a book.
I know that. There's your prediction I was researching about you. So you said that about 5 trillion economy, India should have realized goals, realistic goals.
So I don't know, but since you seem to be quite interested, and some of you might also be interested. So I wrote a book. It is titled The $10 trillion Dream, the state of Indian economy and the policy reforms required to reach there. Right. So I do believe that we can have a vision, or we can have a dream for creating a $10 trillion economy by something like 2035, but that can't happen only by wishing or dreaming. That would require enormous amount of reforms, change in the structure of Indian economy, very fast upgrading of the skills of our people and our entrepreneurship. Capital we may perhaps get from the world, but if we can have that, then we can create a $10 trillion economy. $5 trillion economy is an intermediate stage. You can get to 10 only when you get to 5 and proceed further. By the way, I think some of you would definitely be knowing that in 1978, when China started reforming and changing its business model, India and China had roughly the same per capita income. China's population was about 15% higher than India's population at that time. And in last 44 years or so, China now is a $16 trillion economy. We are only about $3 trillion economy. China per capita income is about $13,000. Ours per capita income is about $2,000. And in 45 years, China is without doubt 4 to 5 times richer, bigger, and if you take per capita income, 5 to 6 times, because they have controlled their population also. Their population is, next year will be crossing Chinese population. So we would have much larger number of people, but much smaller economy than that. And therefore, what happened there in 40 years can also happen. And there are many examples in the world. It's not China alone. Japan earlier, Taiwan, you look at the South Korea, you look at, and now, even now, when we are running into, we are in the race, so to say, countries like Vietnam, which were much worse off, even as late as 10 years back, are also doing lot to race ahead, and therefore we can have a legitimate desire to dream, but we will have to work hard to realize this. It will not automatically happen. There is no preordained thing. There is nothing like destiny. We are not destined to go there. We can create our own destiny if we want, but then all will require enormous amount of effort. Yes, please go ahead.
Do you think that crypto and yes, is this the best time?
So the crypto based on the blockchain technology is a very is a digitalized space and digital way of creating goods and services. We are today mostly using the database or centralized database kind of technologies. All our assets, all our bank accounts, everything is running on the centralized database kind of technology. The blockchain or the decentralized cryptography technology is a different kind of thing, where there is no central person, regulator or central agencies. It's all, so in a way it's a competing, in a way it's a better technology, and therefore I have enormous amount of faith that future businesses would perhaps be increasingly more and more shift towards being organized on the decentralized, or what we now call decentralized autonomous organizations, instead of what we have, the company form and all. Coming to your next part of the question, whether it's time to invest or disinvest, I think there is a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of hype about the crypto, the value it can create, the value, etc. No one really knows what is the true value. For example, Bitcoin, which in 2008 was, as you must have heard, somebody used 10,000 Bitcoins to buy 2 pizzas. That was the kind of value, and today it is $20,000 per Bitcoin. It reached about $70,000 also at some point of time. And therefore, there is enormous amount of uncertainty, because finally the technology itself is not valuable. What its value is derived by the value it creates. So if the database technology is used in, let us say, to give you an example, dematerialized shares and assets, which then can be traded using the database technology, and therefore it creates value in asset management, right? Or the banking services, deposits, credits, etc., organized in database, used for lending, which creates interest income and other incomes and create value, is so what value is created by technology determines the real value of technology. Today, the blockchain cryptography technology is not creating much of value. There is this decentralized finance which is coming up. It was taking off quite well on Ethereum and others, and there was a big promise. But if you look at last 5-6 months, the decentralized finance, or DeFi as they call it, is slowing down, is going down, and there are many ways in which people have learned to misuse the DeFi architecture, etc. as well. And there are several deficiencies which are coming into it. So my sense is that this is not the time to be hyped about the crypto currencies and those technologies. It's time to study them, to build better decentralized technologies, to build better businesses and create value thereon. And when that happens, it is creating the real value. At that stage, would perhaps be the time to make more investment into Please. Oh. Thank you. I think this is a very important core question. I try to address in the book. See, my point is, my sense is that it's fundamental reforms which make the difference all the time. So today, if we look at our educational system, we find that the education system is largely in the government hands. There is a public education. School, it's important, understandable that in the schools everyone should learn the same kind of thing to be better informed about themselves and the citizens. But when you go higher up, when it's the education is all about technologies and the skills and the knowledge which is convertible into goods and services or production thereof, that is where you use it. The government, since government is not an entrepreneur, it can't deliver that kind of education. And therefore, one of the serious constraint in my judgment is the absence of entrepreneurial driven education, especially the technological education. And why is it that? Because we have two main problems in the country. Number one, our laws say that all education is charitable. Education cannot be a profit-making activity, right? And if there is no profit-making in the service, the private sector will not come. It's very logical. Why should I teach the technology if in the teaching business I end up losing money rather than that? And what kind of technology will I teach when I myself am losing money to those who want to understand and use that kind of technology? This has also been, in a way, misjudged in my judgment by the courts who have said yes, that the education is all charitable, no profit making there. And therefore there is an enormous amount of constraint in setting up good quality educational institutions in technology, medical and those kind of management, those kind of fields. We have some good public institutions as well, for example IIMs and IITs. These are good, but they are good more because the real talent of India ends up being there. It's less to my mind about what the IITs teach you. It's more about the kind of talent which gets into there. I'll give you a very simple example, not from this. I come from Rajasthan. In Jaipur, there is a commerce college. And that commerce college, the 60 to 80% of the students who take admission there ends up qualifying the chartered accountants and the cost accountants, MBA finance and all. And for many years, that college did not open even for a single day for teaching because of the problems associated with teachers, others, etc., etc. So what does it tell you? Is it the institution which was making them successful as to get into the best of the careers and all, or it's the raw material which they had, or the abilities which they fashioned outside or otherwise which got it? So my sense is that we can create best of the institutions if we allow the private enterprise into this. That's why I argue in that book that we should get out of this mindset of public sector, charitable, non-profit education system. So that's one. Second to my mind, partly that got experimented during the COVID times when a lot of institutions came up to teach things using technology, the ed tech, so to say. Indian industry is now about $2 billion equivalent in ed tech. But there, again, they went into that area where they can make profit. And which is that? Which is the preparation for examinations. So the entire tuition in the examination industry has gone into the edtech. There is no real colleges, there is no real technology institutions in the edtech today. And that again, because the law doesn't allow them to do it, the law permits by default them to get into the tuitions and others, which is not the real education, so to say. And therefore, we should welcome technology for times to come, and we should allow the profit-making technology using ed-tech institutions to set up engineering, medical, and many other kind of institutions in ed-tech and other ones. That is where the success will really come. Not by tuition and the preparation. Thank you. Thank you. Should we close? All right. Thank you very much.
I would like to call upon stage Mr. Ankit, the student coordinator of Compact, to present to serve with a gift hamper which is sponsored by Baker's Brokers. Her performance is definitely worth the wait. Learning and innovation go hand in hand. The arrogance of success is to think that what we did yesterday will be sufficient for tomorrow. One such person who guides others on the path of innovation is here with us today. Let me introduce you all to Professor Rahul K. Mishra. He did his Masters in International Business at Delhi University. He has 25 years of experience in teaching, training and academic administration. His research areas are strategies for innovation and competition. He has developed a MOOC course called Innovation and Startup Policy for IIMBX Swayam platform of the Government of India. IIMBX and Swayam ran this course for 4 semesters from January 2020 to January 2021 with over 12,000 students enrolled.
There's a program coming in and you are most waiting for that. I teach strategy and international business at IIM Lodi Road. And let me just guide you the ground level experience of placing students with the companies. What kind of skill sets which your companies are looking at and how the future is evolving in terms of job. So I think what Mr. Garg was saying earlier, there's a big wave of digitalization which is happening. The digitalization has become core. So if you are a marketing person and if you want to specialize in marketing, it adds a lot of value if you can add digital marketing. If you want to be in finance, it adds a lot of value for you to have a paper or elective in data science and fintech. If you are in HR, it makes a lot of sense for you to pursue HR analytics. The companies are looking for those students who have got the knowledge of the digital economy, and he was very right about that. These are skill sets which are in demand. And I think if you want to go into the future and want to be really employable, my suggestion for you would be that add those electives. If you're doing MBA or if you're doing MCOM or if you're doing some kind of a course from outside, I think, add those digital aspect of the business. So this is one. The second growth area which is coming in is the green economy. In the solar, in the hydrogen, in the many of the areas in the green economy, a lot of jobs are going to be created and generated there. If you can add whatever, whether you are doing MCom or BCom or MBA or MS or economics, I think if you have got certain knowledge and skill sets in the green economy, that will help you a lot. And the third area which is emerging is also about the care economy, with the education, health and many other areas for that. I think these are the three broad areas, digitalization, green economy and the care economy, where the jobs are going to be generated. A lot of jobs are going to be redundant also. I just want you to focus on that. Now the companies are what we are seeing as the age of Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 technologies are going to really shape the future of business and the business models. Whether it's the artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain. Some of you asked that question to Mr. Garg also about the blockchain and cryptocurrency. And there are autonomous robots, drones. And in the MBA program, we are also offering drone technology with a company, with a startup in Gurugram, so that our students should know that. Industry 4.0 technologies. Even, let me tell you, the Facebook is building what is being called metaverse. That's the future of marketing. Marketing will be driven by the metaverse or augmented reality or the mixed reality or the virtual reality for that. There are a lot of Industry 4.0 technologies which are going to shape and where the jobs are going to be created. The last point I will make here is that there are certain skill sets which the companies are looking for when they come to campus. The one skill set is the communication skills, the ability to do great presentation, ability to impress people by how you speak, how you articulate your ideas. You have to be articulate for that. And to become articulate, you need to read, whether it's a newspaper or a book, not only from the net, but also from the hard copy for that. Maybe I'm from old generation, that's why I'm recommending you. But if you want to be an articulate person, you need to read a lot also. And they are looking for the communication skills, the way you write, the way you speak, that's given. Whatever technology, they are looking for that. The second is ability to think critically, ability to analyze things. I think these are the two things which they are also looking for, apart from the skills in digital and data science. And there are a lot of companies from IBM to Google, they're offering courses on data science and digital part of that. There's another, I think, I developed a course on innovation and startup policy for the SWAYAM and IIM Bangalore platform, which is a great platform. And I got 12,000 students. In a year, I can teach maximum face-to-face 500 students. And in those 2 years, I got 12,000 students from different parts of the country and from different strata also. Now, you can enroll yourself from the SWAYAM or from the Coursera and edX and can add a lot of knowledge at a very little cost. And I think these things will help you to get good job and good placement in the emerging new economy. Thank you so much. I'm open for question if you have any. No question? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. We are sure that it is going to benefit the students in many ways. Now that we have gained many insights, should we add another fun element to the session now? Music is one thing that keeps us sane when life gets tough. It keeps us connected with ourselves. We are sure that there are many musical prodigies in the crowd right now, but none like her. She is a singer-songwriter and a music producer. Hailing from Maharashtra, she has been learning music since the age of 5 years. Her father, Jain, is an esteemed Hindustani classical vocalist. After graduating with a degree in interior design, Ms. Shreya decided to pursue music full time and shifted to Mumbai to fulfill her dreams. She has created an unprecedented fan following for herself.
As a young girl from Nagpur, she has established that dreams have no boundaries. She also made her Bollywood debut with 3 songs in the film Attack, starring John Abraham, Jacqueline Fernandez, and Rahul Preet Singh. Currently, she has 1.6 million plus followers on her social media handles. She has performed in more than 500 concerts in the country and internationally. Having recently performed at Wembley Stadium in London, her biggest inspiration is her father Shyam Jain. Her pop voice and the modern sound of music find its place in the heart of the audience across all age groups.
So, with a great round of applause, please welcome this Ziddi girl from Music World onto the stage. Also, I would like to call upon Krishan Thakur, a third-year semester student from Department of Journalism and Mass Communication.
छुपे जो राज है खोलो ना खोलो ना खोलो ना खोलो ना क्यों एतराज है बोलो ना छुपे जो राज है खोलो ना खोलो ना खोलो ना खोलो ना क्यों
So, good afternoon everyone. My name is Krishan. A very good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you so much. Good evening, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming here and being a part of this interview.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
So, ma'am, there's no doubt that you're a great musician. And what's important for a musician is to find that passion and rekindle it again and again to provide the best content out there. So, how did you develop this passion for music and what has been your source of inspiration in this journey?
Okay. कितने लोगों को हिंदी भी आती है? Is it okay if I also talk in Hindi? Too much English मुझसे नहीं हो पाएगी since I am a very desi girl. So I have learned classical from my father. मेरे पापा हिंदुस्तानी classical vocalist हैं. मैं बचपन से क्लासिकल सुनते हुए बड़ी हुई हूँ. So मेरा अलार्म होता था पापा का कोई राग वो गाते थे रियाज करते थे and that used to be my alarm. तो वैसे मैं उठती थी तो बचपन से ही मैंने पापा से ही सीखा है. Even the dedication that I have, I think I got it from my father.
That's really awesome, ma'am. So every singer dreams of a Bollywood debut. So like how was that experience for you? Like debuting with a movie with stars like John Abraham and Jacqueline Fernandez. How was that for you?
Obviously, it's every singer's dream to sing in a playback, and for me, obviously, it was like कि यार ये क्या हो गया मेरे साथ? I was very surprised and I did not know. I was working for a composer called Shashwat Sachdev. I was also working on the score as a Pro Tools operator and I did not know. So I just sang that song and he then put it in the film. So I was a little surprised, but obviously my parents and everyone were very happy with it.
It's really great, ma'am. Ma'am, coming from the state of Maharashtra to performing at the Wembley Stadium, London, like how would you describe that journey and what's your advice to all the young singers?
It was amazing. It was surreal. But मैं नागपुर से हूँ. I'm a very it's not like बहुत developed city है. I'm from Nagpur and for me going to London and performing at Wembley because Wembley is a huge stadium and पूरा stadium भरा हुआ था लोगों से. For me मैं बहुत ज़्यादा nervous थी when I was on the stage. But yeah, I always dreamt of doing the tour and performing on the stage. And मेरा यही advice है तो जितने भी मुझे पता नहीं कितने लोग passionate है for accept what you're doing here is also good. But अपने अंदर एक passion होता है art के लिए तो I think अगर वो आपके अंदर है तो you should always look forward to that क्योंकि मेरे को लगता है कि अगर आपके अंदर passion है तो उसका एक end है and you'll definitely achieve something in that. You just have to be persistent and you just have to give yourself to it.
Shreya ma'am, there's always a story behind every song and as we all know your new single Khoobi is out now. So I would really like to know what's the whole idea and story behind this new song.
Guys, did you listen to the song? Did you like it?
Yes.
Okay, so I wrote the song 3 months back. For 1.5 years, I was working for a composer called Shashwat Sachdev, and I've learned a lot. I started music producing through him, and after doing the film, I wanted to start my independent journey. So I shifted to a new place. I have this chota sa studio at my home, and this was a time when I did not know I knew that I don't want to assist someone, and I don't want to do films as in I don't want to assist. Obviously, I'm singing for films, and hopefully the songs will be out. But I knew that I want to do my own stuff, so I started exploring myself. I started making songs every day, and initially I made shit songs that even I can't listen to them now. But then I started writing better songs, and it started getting better. And Khubi is something that I wrote, composed, and produced in a day. So for me, it's a huge thing because I wanted to do this since a long time, because there's this day जब आपका ना एक link लग जाता है when you're working on the song, and at the end of the day you have the song. So Khubi is one of those songs, and I wanted the thought of the song very different. So it's like कि this girl is in love with a guy and she knows that there's something wrong about the guy. But then she's just trying to find out कि ऐसी क्या खूबी है जिसकी वजह से she's attracted towards that guy. And towards the end of the song, she realizes कि उसमें भी कहीं ना कहीं that darkness is there, and that's why they both are getting attracted towards each other.
I think, as you said, every artist feels that they produce the most shittiest songs in the world. So, ma'am, I would really like to know this. What's your favorite part about your career as a musician and a YouTuber?
My favorite part is there are days when I don't get sleep, when I don't get time to eat, but पता नहीं this ऐसा नहीं लगता कि I'm exhausted. It's like कि मेरे में अभी भी energy है. So I think best part is I love what I'm doing and I never feel exhausted.
I think that's why you're sitting here and enlightening us all. So thank you so much, ma'am, for this lovely interview, and I hope your answers have been a source of inspiration for the audience.
Yeah, I really hope so, guys.
And I think the stage is all yours now. The audience is eagerly waiting for you to sing.
So am I. I'm eagerly waiting to perform for you all. Are you ready?
Yes!
Let's do it.
मुझको इतना बताए कोई कैसे तुझे से दिल ना लगाए कोई रब्बा ने तुझको बनाने में कर दी है हुस्न की खाली तिजोरियां काजल की स्याही से लिखी है तूने जाने कितनों की लव स्टोरियां इश्क है पिया रंग जाऊं जो मैं हाथ लगाऊं दिन बीते सारा तेरी फिक्र में रहने सारी तेरी खैर बनाऊं केसरिया तेरा इश्क है पिया रंग जाऊं जो मैं हाथ लगाऊं दिन बीते सारा तेरी फिक्र में रहने सारी तेरी खैर बनाऊं कहती है खुदा ने ऐसे जहां में सभी के लिए किसी ना किसी को है बनाया हर किसी के लिए तेरा मिलना है उस रब का इशारा मानो मुझको बनाया तेरे जैसे ही किसी के लिए कुछ तो है तुझसे राबता कुछ तो है तुझसे राबता कैसे हम जाने हमें क्या पता कुछ तो है तुझसे राबता मोही कैसा मर जाया मुझको पुकारे मेरी परछाइयाँ रे कबीरा रे कबीरा रे कबीरा रे कबीरा रे कबीरा रे कबीरा रे अच्छा चलता हूँ दुआओं में याद रखना मेरे जिक्र का सुबह पे सुहाग रखना दिल के संदूकों में मेरे अच्छे काम रखना चिट्ठे तारों में भी मेरा तो सलाम रखना अंधेरा तेरा मैंने ले लिया हाँ मेरा उजला सितारा तेरे नाम किया ओ पिया Guys, is the guitar working? Thank you guys. Is the guitar working? Can we please guys गिटार नहीं शुरू करें आप लोग शोर नहीं कर रहे हो ना तो वो कह रहे हैं गिटार बंद रहे गाइस जब तक गिटार आ रहा है आई वॉन्ट ऑल ऑफ यू आप लोगों ने खूबी सुन लिया ना अभी आप अपने फ़ोन में वीडियो भी देख लो और जब आप कमेंट करोगे ना तो वहाँ पे कोई हैशटैग बना दो जो जिससे मुझे पता चले कि मैं यहाँ आई थी उसके बाद वो कमेंट्स आए हैं बहुत कंफ्यूज कर रहे हो एक वन एट अ टाइम गाइस मेम्स की खूबी बहुत अच्छी है मेम्स की खूबी कर दो ठीक है तो जितने भी लोग हैं इसके बाद आप जब भी घर जाओ या अभी कर दो कमेंट ताकि जब मैं घर जाके पढूं तो मैं मेरे फ्रेंड्स को सबको दिखा पाऊँ कि मैं कॉलेज गई थी आज और उसके बाद मेरे को इतने सारे कमेंट्स आए हैं तो कितने लोग कमेंट करने वाले हैं Love you guys. अब do we have the guitars? Yes. सुन रही हो सुध बुध खो के कोई मैं कहानी पूरी कहानी है क्या किसे है पता मैं तो सपने बूंद बूंद नैनों को मूंद मूंद कैसे मैं चलूं देख ना सकूं अनजाने जैसा है कोई किनारा किनारा जैसा है कोई किनारा जैसा है कोई किनारा किनारा जैसा है कोई किनारा किनारा बोले कोई किनारा बोले कोई किनारा जैसा है कोई किनारा किनारा जैसा है कोई किनारा महफिल में तेरी हम ना रहे जो गम तो नहीं है गम तो नहीं है किससे हमारी नजदीकियों के कम तो नहीं है कम तो नहीं है इतनी दफा सुबह को मैंने तेरे आंगन में बैठे बैठे शाम किया मेरे आ मेरे आ ओ पिया चन्ना मेरे आ मेरे आ मेरे आ ओ पिया केसरिया तेरा इश्क है पिया थक जाऊं जो मैं हाथ लगाऊं दिन बीते सारा तेरी फिक्र में मैंने सारी तेरी खैर बनाऊं केसरिया तेरा इश्क है पिया थक जाऊं जो मैं हाथ लगाऊं दिन बीते सारा तेरी फिक्र में मैंने सारी तेरी खैर बनाऊं Thank you so much guys. Thank you so much. Love you. Next. We have a lot more. We have a lot more guys. पहले कभी न तूने मुझे गम दिया फिर मुझे क्यों तन्हा कर दिया पहले कभी न तूने मुझे गम दिया फिर मुझे क्यों तन्हा कर दिया गुजारे थे जो लम्हे प्यारे I want the guitars louder. Can we please? Or the guitars. I want the guitars louder. The loudest. I can't hear the guitars. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. पहले कभी न तूने मुझे गम दिया फिर मुझे क्यों तन्हा कर दिया पहले कभी न तूने मुझे गम दिया फिर मुझे क्यों तन्हा कर दिया मैं चाहूँ मुझे मुझसे बांट ले, जरा सा मुझ में तो झाँक ले। मैं हूँ क्या कभी जो पागल, बरसे मैं दिखूं तुझे आके, बरके तो लगे मुझ पे भी बारिश की दुआ। मैं हूँ मैं तुझको पागल, मैं हूँ तो गम में अब किया, मैं हूँ साथिया। कभी जो बादल 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 बरसे, तड़पाए मुझे तेरी सभी बातें, एक बार है दीवाने, झूठ